For sure that breeze would blow you away.
Oh, you say such ghastly things. Mind your feet. They're having a hard enough time as it is without us tracking in the outside world. And we better hurry. They weren't far behind us.
I've never been to a funeral before.
And we shan't have any more idle chatter about the affair when they arrive.
Of course, I'm not that inconsiderate. How did the vicar fare in comparison to other services you've attended?
For not knowing the boy, he did well. I would imagine it would be difficult to discuss someone who didn't attend your parish.
I do wish my funeral is as well attended as his.
Well, be careful what you wish for, my dear. They're not always what they're cracked out to be. Wishes. Only the good Lord knows what's best for his children.
Yes, but didn't Moses change God's mind?
Well, goodness, aren't we well read? Yes, but I've always had the suspicion that God was more testing Moses than what he let on. What is the time?
Just 5:15.
Well, they'll be along any minute. Please set the table, and there's silverware in that drawer. I'll check the ham and put the kettle on.
Daft girl that wears.
Good heavens, child, what is it?
A creature's hand, a paw, I think. Gave me quite the scare.
What on earth? Oh!
What is it? What's wrong?
I don't know. I thought I felt it twitch.
Twitch?
Aye, twitch.
Well, it's no concern of ours what it is or what it isn't. It's theirs and not ours. I wish I hadn't seen it.
Well, yes, but you did see it. It was a paw, a monkey's paw, and it still had its hair.
Why was the casket closed?
The casket?
Yes, they wouldn't let anyone see his face.
My dear, were you not informed?
No.
You should come sit before I tell you. Your folks are switched.
Oh.
Check.
What did you say?
I said check. It seems to be a good game.
Oh, I've never played. Andrew says chess is a man's game.
Well, that does explain why he does so poorly at it then. It's a thinking man's game, which is why most men don't bother to learn it.
Oh, Edith, you are rather harsh towards the handsome sex.
Of course I am. They're entirely incapable of seeing their own potential. Tomorrow, you shall come to my house and I shall teach you chess. Maybe then Andrew will stop pussyfooting around and let you make an honest man out of him.
Oh, Edith. Now, about the casket being closed.
Yes, the casket. Well, due to the severity of the accident with the British Bridge Company, the construction company the boy worked for. His body was so mangled being caught in the machinery, they said. I didn't see it and no one else saw it but the other workers, but it altered his vision and frame so thoroughly they had to identify him by his shoes. They said he was turned inside out. Beastly things, those machines. Shouldn't be using them, I think. I shudder at the very thought of my boys ever walking around them.
His shoes?
Yes, he always kept a hay penny in each of his shoes in case he needed a hard drink after a hard day.
Unfortunate weather on a day like today.
Quite. Dear, let me take your hat. I appreciate your friendship, Lawrence. It has helped.
Of course, Albert. Father Wall always did say I put the fun in funeral. I'm a terrible person. Forgive me, Albert.
It's quite alright. We may as well get used to this new way of living.
If you can call it that. Albert, some tea?
Of course, dear. Hello, Hattie. See, you made it all right? Find everything for supper?
I managed. I also found a curious thing. It gave me quite the scare.
The ham's not quite done. Into the living room with you.
Here, let me help.
I should think not. You've both had a trying week, and a hot meal and some good tea will help your spirits.
Ah, hello, Edith.
Hello, Lauren. Wonderful service, Gladys.
Hello, Edith.
Lawrence, be a dear and move the chessboard to the shelf.
Ah, yes, of course.
No! They haven't finished! Albert, you haven't finished your game.
The game is up, dear. It was a good run. Thank you, Lawrence.
Of course, Albert.
Gladys, drink your tea. It will help.
Andrew always says tea warms the heart and soul.
I'd imagine he had a little extra courage to his cup.
Albert, you seem to be in too cheerful a mood given the circumstances. I don't mean to be insensitive.
Always be comic in a tragedy. What the deuce else can you do?
Albert, please.
I'm sorry, dear, but there's no use going on about what we can't change. I do miss him so.
What on God's earth is this?
Oh, it's the monkey's paw that Ruth brought us from Arabia.
Yes, I'd forgotten all about it after Freddie. Well, after everything. Ruth Hold was one of my nurses back when I was an army doctor in Egypt, 20 years back, before I'd met Gladys, before Freddie. Well, before Frederick was born. Ruth was here just last week.
Albert, I tell you, it was the strangest thing. When the old Saudi handed this to me, I had half the mind to toss the thing.
Well, why didn't you?
Well, you know what they say about curiosity.
And the cat.
The dead cat.
I was unaware the military was so open to handouts.
Half an hour and I already like your wife, Albert. I hope she's not as holy as you are.
She's worse.
Albert, really?
Your husband was a delightful doctor, always treated the ladies with respect and dignity. Did he tell you about the time that he once saved 4 Arabs after they tried to attack us?
Truly? Albert never talks about the war. I wish he would.
Careful what you wish for. Wishes is how I came by this cursed trinket.
Cursed?
Aye, cursed. The Saudi who gave this to me said that an imam, or a very holy man, had put a spell on it. Said the old mage put a spell on it. A rather odd thing for Muhammad to perform. The reason for the spell? The wizard wanted to prove that fate ruled people's lives, and that those who interfered with it did so to their sorrow. He cursed it so that 3 separate men could have 3 wishes from it, 1 for each finger of the paw,
Well, why don't you have 3, Ruth?
I have. I had.
And did you really have those 3 wishes granted?
I did. I think I'll have one more. What's the time?
Well, it appears to be... Good Lord, 9:15. You have an early train tomorrow. We certainly didn't mean to keep you this long.
Has anyone else wished on the paw?
The first man had his 3 wishes, yes. I don't know what the first 2 were, but the third was for death. That's how I got the paw.
Well, if you've had your 3 wishes, Ruth, then what do you keep it for? What good is it to you?
Fancy, I suppose. Well then, I've come to give you the paw.
How does it work? The spell?
Easy enough. Hold it in your right hand and say the wish aloud. But I warn you of the consequences.
Sounds like Arabian Nights. Don't you think you might wish for 4 pairs of hands for me? At least then I could keep the house closer to my liking.
This is no joke. If you must wish for something sensible. For God's sake, be careful what you wish for. I wasn't.
Either you're fast or I'm slow.
Is it true, Albert?
Is what true, Hattie?
Why, the story, of course, about the poor. Did it grant your 3 wishes?
Well, I don't know. We never made a wish. When Freddie got home, we all laughed and talked about what we would dare to wish for. A better job, more faith, a longer life. Curious how one's wishes change in such a short time.
No good can come from living off of wishes. Imagine wishing for $10,000 just to find out that some poor bloke woke up bankrupt without a penny to his name. Your friend Ruth was very prudent when she warned you of the consequences. And only the good Lord knows what's best for us.
$10,000? That's not sensible at all. That's enough income for a man to not know what to do with the money. Now, a few £100 would be a bit more reasonable. That way, a man would still work, but alleviate some of his debt. You would not rob a man of his purpose with a wish for a few more coin in his purse.
And For the Wall is very fond of reminding us.
Idle hands are the devil's work.
A few £100.
For myself, I'd wish for more common sense in the British Empire, especially for our politicians.
Lawrence, these are wishes, not miracles.
Well, I would like to wish for something extravagant. I'm entitled to it.
No one's entitled to anything. Additionally, what would you need that would be so extravagant?
Oh, I wouldn't waste a wish on a need. I'd like to treat myself to an unnecessary luxury, some grand trend. It wouldn't be wasted. My pleasure is ample reason for a flippant dream.
Well, that's a rather naive thing to wish for.
It is not.
Edith, what about you? What would be your heart's desire?
I would have liked a few more years with my husband. Forgive me, that was improper.
No, Edith. I now understand. It's a good wish.
No parent should have to bury their child.
I just wish that...
I did make a wish. Lawrence, how many fingers are bent?
1.
You did? What was it for?
£200.
Evening. Is this the White residence?
It is.
Are you Albert White?
I am.
Was Frederick White your son?
What's all this mean? What do you mean, was?
Thank you, Sergeant Mallory. I'll take it from here. I'm Miss Ilsa Vine, Legal Secretary of Ernest & Fisher, British Bridge Company. Albert. Mr. White, there has been an accident. A most unfortunate accident. Now, British Bridge Company has a very strict arbitration clause whereby employees cannot sue the company if any harm were to befall them during work hours on the plant. However, due to the severity and the gruesomeness of this incident, the British Bridge Company feels sympathy towards you and Mrs. White and would like to offer their condolences in a £200 note, which you can withdraw from the Westminster Bank at Monday at your own convenience. Do you understand, Mr. White?
Where's Freddie? Why are you here?
As legal secretary of Ernest and Fisher, it is my duty, Mr. White, to inform you that earlier this evening your son, Frederick, was working at the plant. Those who saw the incident all agree it was a stroke of bad luck and that no one is to blame, not even Frederick. It could have happened to anyone.
What could have happened? What are you saying?
Mr. White, while working, your son's shirt was caught into the contraption he was servicing. The thing apparently turned on all on its own. Well, it pulled him into the contraption and mangled his body. He did not die quickly.
Thank you, Miss Vine. I'd imagine this was very difficult for you to deliver.
All a part of the job, I'm afraid. Here's the note. The death of a son is a terrible thing. I beg your pardon, ma'am, I didn't see you there.
Albert, what's going on? Why is that woman here?
Gladys, dear, there was an accident at the plant. Freddie, he's...
Dead.
Yes, £200 to pay off the mortgage. I thought it a sensible wish.
You did this! To Freddie! To our Freddie! To my Freddie! She told us to be careful what we wish for. She told us to be careful, and you wished for £200. Well, you got your wish, and I lost Freddie.
What on earth do you mean?
Do you mean a paw actually works?
Nonsense, it's a Saudi trinket, nothing more. Pawned off for a few coin and a good ghost story. It can't actually possess magical qualities.
What did Ruth say? That the Imam wanted to show the world that fate ruled our destinies, and that we can escape our doom, but we can.
Gladys, stop this. It was just a coincidence. Bad luck and bad timing. Nothing more.
You wished for £200. The very next day we got it. Your wish came true. Ruth was right.
Oh, Willie Gladys. I can understand your emotional state, but there's no reason to go into hysterics.
I'm not hysterical. I'm not. I'm not mad. I'll show you all. I wish Freddie were alive again.
See, what did I tell you? Pure nonsense! It'll make a good ghost story, though.
Good heavens, Gladys, you gave me quite the start. The ham should be ready by now. All to the kitchen.
Come along, dear. It was just a paw.
Hattie, are you alright?
I'm alright, Lawrence. It's just that
Just what? What is it, Hattie?
I thought I heard a
A what?
moan. Silly thing to think of hearing. A moan. Surely it was just the wind. Yes, the wind.
Well, there's a rational explanation for everything.
Is there?
I can understand Gladys's flights of fancy, but you? I thought you had outgrown those fables. There are no resurrections.
Except at the end of all things.
Yes, of course.
ham's ready, all to the table.
Ah, come along then. Let's see if Edith's ham is all it's cracked up to be.
Alright.
And then Freddie, without looking up, reaches up and grabs the butcher's hand, thinking it was mine. As I'm sure you can imagine, the hand of a butcher is not exactly the hand of a doctor. From that day forward, Freddie made sure to pay careful attention to his mother or I when we were in unfamiliar places.
Especially in a butcher's shop. Who knew what bill he'd be a part of? Gladys, I'm sorry. It's the whiskey. I should have stopped a cup ago.
It was a clever antidote, Lawrence. Very witty.
Well, I propose a toast. To Freddie, as good boy who ever lived, and to his parents, Albert and Gladys White, the goodest parents as there ever have been. God bless this house.
God bless this house.
God bless this house.
Hattie, are you alright? It's as if you've never had a drink before.
But I never have had a drink before. Is it supposed to burn? Oh, I feel warm.
Well, it is almost 8. We'd better get you home. Let you walk off your first drink. I'll accompany you. Thank you, Edith. Albert. Gladys. Let's get you home.
Thank you both again for everything. Your company was most needed.
Sure, what are friends for?
Many things. This being one of them. Be safe.
We shall. Cheers.
It's beyond me why those two don't just marry and get on with it. They'd make an exceptional pair, and a good breed they produce.
Perhaps it's because they are not in love.
I didn't love Geoffrey until our 5th year of marriage. We didn't have the luxury. Gladys, would you like more coffee?
Oh, no, I'm fine. Thank you for supper.
Yes, Edith, a succulent hem as always. And did I detect a new spice?
You did indeed. I'm very proud of that pig. I'm glad you found it edible.
What was that spice?
Shan't tell. Family secret.
Come on, old girl.
Old girl?
Out with it!
I said no, Albert White. And I would not tell you under pain of death.
And you didn't have whiskey.
So I didn't. My apologies.
It's quite alright, Edith. Common phrase. Funny how so many of those... Well, you know.
I would like a quiet house, Albert. I'm tired.
As is expected under the circumstances. I'll be by tomorrow to tidy up.
Not necessary. You've already done
Less than what would be most helpful. And I won't hear another word against it. 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock will be fine.
What on earth?
Albert, where is your pistol?
What for?
Your pistol, man. Where is it?
It was a monster! A horrible thing!
A monster?
It was unnatural, all twisted and writhing!
What's all twisted?
There's some kind of creature out there. Oh God, the smell! Like the insides of an animal it was. It smelled like a butcher's shop.
There. There's no monster out there. It's probably just a stray animal from the woods.
It wasn't an animal, Edith. It was walking on 2 legs, if that's what they were. Its arms reaching out, as if blindly feeling its way through the air. I saw its bones sticking out of its skin. It moaned. No, it wailed, as if in ungodly pain. It was a twisted, an oozing thing, a monster, Edith. It looked like it had been turned inside out. Like how you described.
Freddie. It worked. The ball worked. I told you. It's Freddie.
Albert, whatever that thing is, it's not your son. Where is your pistol? Albert, the pistol. Where is it?
A nightstand. My side.
Albert, you would take my son away from me a second time?
I would, Gladys. I'm sorry.
No! Freddie! Freddie! Let me go! Albert, let me go, I said! Freddie! Freddie!
That thing is not our son, Gladys. Our son died.
I wished for him to be alive again.
But you didn't wish for him to be whole.
Let me see him!
No.
Let me see my Freddy!
No, Gladys, it's not